Okay, boys and girls, let's go for another show. Anyway, I got a comment the other day from someone here on YouTube, and I appreciate that greatly. Thank you. And it was about this particular mouthpiece. This is a SoundFresh Soundfreak kind of jazz lead mouthpiece designed to add a lot of air to your sound, give you that raspy kind of jazz sound without having to intentionally do it or already have the embouchure to do that. It just does it. You can't not do it with that mouthpiece. But what was asked or what was said was that the range was limited. So, and I think the answer to that is that's extremely common. So while I talk about having literally hundreds of mouthpieces, which I do, what I probably should talk a lot about too is that changing between the mouthpieces is kind of an advanced skill. And, you know, I guess that's arguably correct. You can disagree if you'd like, but at least for me, it does take a line or two, at least, to change, especially if you're changing pretty radically the depth of the cup and the size of the cup, like the inside diameter. Even the type of rim. I mean, you know, going through, and I apologize if this sounds kind of elementary, but, you know, mouthpieces, there are so many. Even just standard, like from Bach, there's probably at least, I don't know, I would think like 50 to 100 different mouthpieces you can choose from in their line, just what they make off the assembly line. And then you can get into all the custom stuff too. So there's just tons and tons of choices out there. And it's really difficult to try them all because there's just so many of them, right? So, you know, over the years, I've amassed a really large collection. But I guess this is a terrible thing to say, but what I have found, and maybe this is true, it's kind of like, maybe you play baseball, right? And you have a glove, and that glove is great. But then you go get a new glove, and you kind of have to break it in, but then over time, that glove is great too. I guess what I'm saying is that with mouthpieces, and even horns to some degree, over time, anything can work for you because I think we end up adapting, to the mouthpiece itself, or the horn, rather than the other way around. So in the beginning, you might fight it, and maybe you give up before you can actually play it really well. But if you stick with it over a period of time, it will. I think a lot of pro musicians out there refer to it as it feels like home. It may or may not be the perfect mouthpiece for you in this case, but it feels like it because it's so familiar and comfortable. And that familiarity and comfort is what really gives players, I think, the ability to truly express their artistic creativity and have the confidence to try something that they would otherwise be intimidated to try. And that's true of anything, right? If you feel confident with a golf club and you're like, wow, that's a 500-yard, hole, but you can just absolutely slam, your TaylorMade club or whatever it is, your Callaway club, whatever you're using, and you feel really confident in that, you get that Tiger Woods kind of thing. And I'm just thinking about golf because my son and I are going golfing, but you get my point, right? So I guess I wasn't really going to play anything today. Let me do this. I'll take 3 different, do I have 4 here? Yeah, wait, no, that's a flugel horn. No, here it is. Is this it? No, it's this one, I think. So let me take four mouthpieces, 2 that are kind of the same and 2 that are completely opposite ends of the spectrum. And let's see what actually I'll do 5 because I'll do a flugelhorn adapted to a trumpet. So that really gives us, all right, so we'll start off. This is and look at how tight I put that in there. Thanks, Adam. Adam Rappa says to ram your mouthpiece in there, in your lead pipe. Anyway, I dropped my rag. This is a Lotus 7L that I'll start with, and that's basically to me, it's like a 3C. It's a pretty standard mouthpiece for them. Then I'll switch over to the 7L TurboWood, which, theoretically, it's the same as this one, the 7L. This is just regular brass. And I'm saying that because they have different blank materials you can get, I think, in bronze and I don't know. They have 3 different choices for what they make their mouthpieces out of is not just brass, and maybe nickel. Yeah, so I think it's bronze, nickel, and brass. This is made out of some kind of weird wood. So same size, but different material. Then we'll switch over to, this is a Puge DeepVee 6.5. So this thing is like, I can lose a finger in there. It's so deep. These are pretty normal depth. This is super deep, so it's going to sound more like a flugelhorn. That's kind of the point. Then I'll make a weird transition to this SoundFresh Soundfreak, which is real shallow. It's bigger. It's like a 2, as opposed to now I'm jumping from a 7 to a 2. So that means it's going to sit wider on my lips, and it's a much, much shallower cup. And if you can see, can you see in there how that's flat at the bottom, which is what makes the raspy sound. Then finally, we'll switch to, I think this is a Dennis Farr flugelhorn mouthpiece with a, this is a flugel to trumpet adapter. So this takes any flugelhorn, well, I shouldn't say any. This takes a Yamaha or the large Morse taper flugelhorn mouthpiece and adapts it to a standard trumpet receiver. So let's go through these. I'll just play a little, something slow so you can hear the difference. And hopefully I'll mess up on this, because the idea is to show you that it's normal if you're swapping mouthpieces. And you would never do this like this. Like, you wouldn't be sitting in a set and change mouthpieces mid-song or even every other song. But I'm kind of trying to illustrate that it isn't easy to do, so don't be misled or fooled thinking you can just switch mouthpieces or instruments and all of a sudden, everything's great. And it doesn't work that way, at least not for me. Ready? Wow, that was terrible, but that's okay. Okay, so that was the 7L in brass. This is the 7L in TurboWood. Tell me now, again, on the phone, you may not be able to hear the difference, but what I'll do is I'll explain how this feels different. So to me, that felt pretty similar. The texture of this is weird. Although I will say that over time, it used to feel much more grainy or like wood. Now it's just really smooth. So this thing really came to life over, I don't know, a couple of years that I've had this thing. And this is actually the one I swapped with someone from another country, which was pretty cool. So you never know the cool things that the people you meet on here, you can do some neat things. So I had a 3, he had a 7, and I was switching from 3 to 7. So we swapped, and it was pretty cool. All right. So anyway, the change, I feel like I actually played that one better. I think it sounded a little more bright right off the get-go, but not a whole lot of difference other than the tactility, if that's a word, the tactile nature of the fact that this thing is wood and the other one was metal. All right, now let's go to this Puge DeepVee 6.5. This should almost flatten the instrument too, so let's check this out. Sorry, I'm reading my screen over here at the same time. So that one felt a lot different for me. It sounded a lot different too. Maybe it didn't translate on the phone, but it definitely had more of a, it was definitely flat, so I'd have to get used to that or tune the instrument a little bit differently. I'd have to get my tuner out. But it felt a little different, and it was a little bit harder to hit some of the higher notes, which is pretty normal when you get a deeper cup. You get a bigger, fuller sound, but you need a lot more wind. So I'm also trying to play these things kind of the same. All right, let's switch over to this SoundFresh Soundfreak thing. This is a crazy looking mouthpiece, but wait, hopefully it translates. Wait till you hear this thing. Wow, real jazz. I know I played more of that little thingy. Oh, and if you're interested in what that is, it's just some stupid thing that I made up years ago that I play to warm up with all the time. It's not, it's just like a little ditty, but wow. I hope that translated, because completely different. Now the feel of this, so the last one, the DeepVee 6.5 felt kind of chunky. It felt fatter, so like the rim is bigger, felt that on my lips. But the depth of that was really where it made me have a challenge. And I can play that thing really well, but I have to get used to it for a period of time. This one is bigger. So this is a bigger inside diameter, so it feels bigger on your mouth. So that right there kind of throws you. But for some reason, maybe it's because it's shallow or the way this thing is made, I can play this thing pretty easily. If I were to put like a Bach 1 or something in here, I would crack notes all over the place, because just the way that thing is bigger is more difficult for me to play for some reason. This one, while it feels bigger, isn't. Now you can notice there at the end, this thing definitely has some trouble in the lower register, but it's that smoky. It's supposed to sound, I don't want to say like crap, but I mean, jazz trumpet has that real kind of raspy, it's just what it's supposed to, well, jazz ballad trumpet, maybe not the speed jazz, like real fast bop and stuff like that. But this is a really unique, I don't even know if they make these anymore, but I have 4 of them. I bought 2 trumpets and 2 flugelhorn. They make a flugelhorn size one too. And a lot of my recordings, actually, I use that because it cuts through the mix without me having to screw around with the EQ. So, I mean, I don't know if any of you guys record or do any of that, but that's also something to think about. Like I have a whole bunch of trumpets, and I love this horn. This is, I don't even remember, this is they don't even make this anymore. It's a Da Vinci model from some company in Poland, and it's such a shame because I mean I love this. This horn is just, man, it's like magic to me. Except when I try to record, it sounds terrible. I always go either to my my raw brass trumpet that I haven't shown this thing in a while. This bad boy that I've had for years. That's on all my hit songs really. Or I picked up a Bach Artisan Stradivarius a few years back. And man, that thing just records so well. I don't know what that is about either, but this horn is just what I pick up every day and play this thing. I just love the way it sounds, the feel, the ergonomics. I mean, everything on it is just home. Except when I record, then I got to use something else. And it's funny because a lot of times you'll hear like popular musicians talk about that too. Like they have a guitar that they love to play. I can play guitar too, right? But when they go record, they use something else other than what they're playing live when they go play a live show. And that's similar. Like I would take this thing and play it out with me everywhere and just carry it all the time. But when I record, I have to use something else. For some reason, this thing does not. Could be the mic. Who knows? It just doesn't translate well in the mix. Okay, enough of that. Now let's go to this. I probably should have done this after the Puge, but that's okay because this is an actual flugelhorn. I really like this. This is like a $45 mouthpiece. This Farr. It's RAYFARR. If you just, I think it's like Ray Farr online or .com or something. And it's the Diamond series. Can you see it on there? It's got a little diamond on it. There it is. And this mouthpiece is awesome. It's like a half and half. I'm just gonna get you in there. So it's got a silver bottom and a gold top. Love this thing. It's a great mouthpiece in the flugel. It just plays really neutral right across the board. I think it has a great sound. And again, for $45, you're hard pressed to even get like a basic Bach for 45 bucks. So anyway, let's play this one, right? See, I lost this one at the bottom too. Anyway, that's it. There's a whole bunch of mouthpieces for you to check out. Let me know what you think. I don't know, maybe this was helpful, maybe it wasn't, but keep playing out there, keep having fun, and you know, drop some comments. I always love hearing from people. Thanks.